it is going to give you, okay, so up to 4 terabytes of premium one, and maximum database transaction units. Okay, the basic one, 5 database transaction units, and 3000 standard tier it is going to give you, and 4000 is the premium one it is going to give per second. Okay, so the storage prospect of also it is going to give some elastic pool related. We are not at discussing anything at this moment. We'll discuss in later. But what I want to explore it here, the um, DTU based related stuff. Okay, so it is going to give this, limited features, the basic and the standard and the premium one. Okay, so at this moment, see if I'm going to change this, it is 384 the INR rupees. Okay, estimated one. If you go and take the standard one, it is again going to change, right? So let's say the minimum 10 DTUs units, and if you can increase, up to 250 GB. Okay, so it is in a fixed kind of thing. Okay, no, nothing it is going to change, but storage aspect, okay, it is going to kind of minimize and maximize over here. Okay, so the main thing is, okay, so where the DTU is a bundle, okay, there is no combination where we can able to do here. Okay, so in more broader aspect, I want to share you. Okay, let me share this one. So let's consider this, our DTU, and this is vCore model. Okay, we have this DTU database transaction in it. We do have eDTU as well. Okay, and here is our vCore model. So the main difference of the vCore model, if you can see this, okay, so bundled measure of this compute storage IO into one cost measurement. Okay, simple model with this pre-configured option. The performance tiers are the combination of the DTU and the storage. Okay, it is independent scaling of the computer and the store. Let's have this discussion actually. Okay, so if you can take this DTU model, what exactly it is going to happen. Okay, I want to take the DTU models first of all. Okay, let me have, okay, let's say you have 10 DTUs. Okay, and let's say this is 20 DTU. Okay, and let's say this is 30 DTU. Okay, so for this one you will get units is 5, sorry, 10, and you'll get 20 GB storage. Okay, and you'll get here 20 database transaction in it. You may get maybe 40 GB storage. Okay, okay, so maybe you'll get 30 DT units. You'll get like storage accommodation is 100 GB. Okay, So it is a fixed. Okay, so if you're taking 10 DT units, you'll get CPU memory combination over here, and the 20 GB storage accommodation you will get 20 storage 20 DT units. If you're taking, you'll get 40 GB. Okay, if you're taking let's say the 30 DT units, you'll get 100 GB storage, but actual usage, let's say if your actual usage of your server is using only 25 DTUs, okay, you'll not get option. Actually, this is a fixed. If you want to go for 25 DT units, you will not get. Okay, you have to pay either 20 DT units. You need to compromise for performance, or else you'll have to go for the higher DTUs. Okay, but still the 15 DTUs is remaining, and the storage is also remaining, but you are going to pay. Okay, the main thing is that, okay, you would have the lower DTU option, you have to compromise the performance, and the higher DTU you have to compromise to paying of the higher of what actual usage of you are using. Okay, so this is there is no fixed there is no flexibility to provide. Okay, let's say I want only for the two vCores and 10 GB. Likewise, if you want to go and do here, you are not getting that option actually. Okay, simply it is in a static. Okay, you are not going to change any dynamic over here. Okay, that's what this is. Somewhat this is not that much of flexibility. Let's go for vCore model. Okay, it is like our laptop configuration. Let's say you have this okay, let's say you want two vCores, okay, and 20 GB storage, okay, or else I want 500 GB storage, okay, 500 GB storage, okay, I want 12 cores, 12 vCores, but I want only only 100 GB storage. Okay, whatever the flexibility you have, you can able to do as per your customization. Okay, you are not paying any extra, and you are not going to compromise the performance. So both the things you are achieving. The one more additional extra, okay, let's see, okay, you have already licensing, SQL licensing with you. Okay, bring your own license. Okay, bring on your license. Okay, if you are having that license with you, okay, so let's say normally if you are having this this configuration, let's say 2 vCores on the 20, you may paying for let's say 100 USD, okay, for hardware configuration standpoint of. Okay, if you are having the licensing with you, this is already enterprise licensing with you, you can able to apply this one. Okay, for this one you are going to reduce 49% of the cost. It is going to reduce 49% of the cost. It is going to reduce. So you are hardly paying 50 USD instead of 100 USD. You will pay only for the 50 USD. Okay, 50 USD. So one thing is you have the flexibility of when you are configuring of this service tier, the vCore model, and you have licensing, enterprise licensing with you already, that you can able to avail. Okay, so your company started 5 years 10 years back, boss. Okay, so you are definitely you are maintaining some software repository for either Linux or the Windows or the SQL or Oracle, whatever, but we are talking about the SQL. So the licensing is ideal if you're not going to utilize that, but Microsoft giving you the flexibility to use that license over here, so that you can reduce your cost. Okay, So this is the what the vCore model is going to flexible to you folks. Okay, so that's what it is actually. So I'm just exploring it. The independent scaling of the compute of the storage and IO. What does mean that you have a flexibility to do, and the other thing flexible to control, transparency. Okay, and use with hybrid benefit for your SQL Server, gain a cost saving which allow you to the use of the on-premises licensing. That's what I'm saying. That if you have the licensing agreement with you already there, that you can able to avail this one. So this is going to give more flexibility. Initially, we only started this one, but later on Microsoft is launched this one, and now currently this is the effective cost usage one to reduce your actual cost cloud landscape, right? So if you can see this, okay, so the future standpoint of okay at DTU level, and you have the combination of bundle pack this is okay, but we have in a compute memory and the storage, you have in a flexibility, and pay is basically you have to pay all together at a one pack, okay, one combination, but you have to pay that storage and whatever you have the flexibility that you are going to pay. The backup is basically we have long-term retention, 10 years we have long-term retention. We do have a flexibility LRS, ZRS, RAJ. Initially, we discussed local redundant storage and the zone redundant storage, read-only geographical redundant storage. These options we already discussed, right? So just had update over here. Okay. So the geo replication, both the things you can able to configure, and ATP is there, SL is a both they are going to give. The service tiers is basically we have basic standard, the premium. We have Gen 4, Gen 5. Okay, we do have like general purpose and the business critical and the hypercare. So maximum units we have to 4,000 units for the 4 terabytes, but here is the 80 cores vCore model. And the storage is you are going to use for the 4 terabytes total storage, and the 4 terabytes of the vCore model as well. So this is all the typical slide differences we have, but the more flexible option we have in the vCore model. Okay. Any questions before going to deploy this one? Is it?
Sorry, sir, what did you say?
Do you have any questions or any doubt on this, vCore and the DTU model?
No, sir.
Okay, clear. So let's proceed now. At this moment, I'll just take it up this, lesser amount of the standard one. Okay, just make sure this, budget friendly, and here is, higher availability and the performance. Okay, so but you have a flexibility. You can, scale up and scale down. That option we have. And tomorrow class, what we are going to do, we'll go for the vCore purchase model, how we can able to do that options and all. Okay. Now I'm going to do some standard budget friendly one, and by using of the 10 DTUs and storage just like 10 GB. Okay, just apply here. Okay, so this is what my standard S0, and we do have 10 DTUs on the with the 10 GB storage account. As I said, the local redundant and the zone redundant and the geo redundant we have. So this storage is going to have you have Microsoft is maintaining within the regions, you have a multiple data centers. Okay, local data center it is going to store, but it is data centers prospect of it is single point of failure, and a zone redundancies it is going to store your data backup into the multiple data centers. We have some resiliency between the data centers. Okay, for the sake of demo, we'll choose as a local redundant backup storage and go for the networking options over here. Okay, so the access methodology, we have the no access. Okay, how we are going to access we'll see, and the public endpoint and the private endpoint. So if you are going to take this no access, means you cannot able to connect. Okay, that it is going to give some security blocker. Okay, so when initial configuration, whatever you want to do it, then after that you can choose this either public one and the private one. The most of real time we'll choose for the private endpoint only. Okay, so that we just need to configure the private endpoint connectivity instead of the public. At this moment we'll go for the public endpoint. Okay, tomorrow class we'll go for the private endpoint. So how we are going to access? Okay, let's say allow Azure services in the resource to access the service. Okay, so it means if you are going to choose S, let's say you want to connect from the application, you want to connect from the Azure server end. So by default, it is going to connect, and it is no extra configuration is required. It will connect and add client IP addresses as well. So if you can go and choose this one, you would have to go and add your client IP. Let's say your system. Okay, so public IP, if you have to go and add it by default, it will add it. Okay, the default proxy we are going to use. Okay, let's keep this by default. And most important thing is the TLS version. So this, minimize the TLS version for the database related. Okay, so it is basically the any threat detection or vulnerable any any attackers is going to happen. It is going to help and protect our database with the TLS security version. Okay, so the latest one is 1.2 currently. Okay, so you just use that one. Okay, it is going to encrypt your database with the TLS one. Okay, so it is going to protect some attacks. Okay, now go to the security option. Okay, so we can enable for the Microsoft Defender. Okay, so it's like our antivirus kind of thing. Okay, so by default it is going to give. Now if we have not I'm going to use. Okay, just move forward this one. Okay, server level security and the database level security we'll discuss next classes. We have a server level security, we have service managed key and the customer managed key that we are going to leverage over here. Okay, so and you do have always encrypted option over here, that also we are going to enable and we'll see. And let's move for additional steps. Okay, if you are going to use for none, there is no data, it's empty database. If you have the existing backups with you already taken, you can able to restore with that backups. If you're going to choose the sample one, the adventure work database it is going to create here. Okay, so let's keep this one sample database one. Okay, and see here the collision settings is the longest specification we have over here. Okay, so sample one it is grayed out, and but now if you can see this, you can able to change of collision settings over here if you want. Okay, so let me take it out the sample database at this moment and go to the tags about the tags we already discussed. Click on review and create this. So what we did is basically what we did is product and a demo database. We have the SQL Server instance, and we just did that authentication methodology for the Windows as well as SQL authentication. The compute storage we have taken 10 DTUs in the 10 storage. We just kept as a default local redundant storage backup over here. And we do have accessing of your IP address, yes, and the TLS version 1.2. Connection policy is the default, and the rest of the things is also default. We just take it up, and additional configuration is collision settings. It's nothing but the longest specification. Okay, local language specification, either Japan, China, India, Telugu, whatever you want to use Hindi, that language is also you can able to leverage here by using of this collision support. Just simple thing is, so overall pricing factor is going to define you. Okay, 1500 INR with the 10 DTUs and the 10 GB storage. Just click on create. So our database is going to create it. The database is going to create it. Let's see that it's going to take a bit of time. So once deployment is done, let's see how we're going to access on this one. If you have any questions, you can ask during this deployment. See, in the deployment also, first it is going to create the server. Okay. Then after that, it's going to create the database. Just see the step-by-step process, how it is going to do. See here, the server has got created and the backend it is got validated. Okay. So I could see this, server creation validation is done. And also the backend client connectivity firewalls, it is also created. See the client firewalls allowing, and the database is accepted to create. It is being deployed in the database. Whatever we have given name, that is doing now. All right, so now we can see that resource got created. Okay, so we just need to explore it all this option tomorrow. Okay, so again we are going to deploy and now to see this. Okay, so overview tags and the settings information. Okay, so the lock information, the replica sync. Okay, so Azure Synapse links integration and Power BI integrations. Okay, how we are going to audit and discovery assessment alerts information that each and every tab we are going to discussing. But now the connectivity standpoint of just take this server name, okay, to connect this database, right? Let me take this one, my um, we just given the SQL authentication, right? And password we have to provide. Just try to enter. Okay, so it is going to connect. Okay, so even you guys also can able to connect now. Okay, so I'm just going to give this uh, instance name. Okay, so user is SQL admin and password is password 22. If you want to connect, you can connect now. Okay, why? Because it is connecting. Okay, we just enable that, you know, um, see here the database is available and the tables also available for the adventure work database related stuff. Okay, so it is a simple and straightforward. Okay, so let's see this database very lesser one. So you can query this one. Okay, just right click and select the top 1,100 rows. It will give the output information. Will give the output information. Let's say if you don't have the management, so see here the data which is you can able to reflect in here. So let's say you don't have uh, uh, SQL managed instance one. Okay, so we do have things like Visual Studio and the Data Studio as well. So you can use this Data Studio or download the Data Studio and you can able to connect. Okay, you can able to connect. So as I said, that's set firewall related stuff. Okay, so the firewall related stuff, what we did is basically public access. We just selected, right? So public access we can able to access over here. Okay, so if I'm going to uh, disable public access, we cannot able to connect. Okay, the private connectivity, you would have to create a private endpoint and the connectivity over here. Okay, so how it is going to restrict and enable these options over here, we can able to see. Okay, so this is a public access and a private access over here, both the things we have, and we can able to disable the public access over here. Let me see that public access and save it. Let me try to connect that, again I'm going to disconnecting, try to connect, but it won't connect because of we already disabled that one. So likewise you can able to restrict. Okay, so let me try to connect now. It is not going to connect because of we just restricted. See, it will not connect, it will throw the error. So reason is specifies public access set yes, otherwise it is not going to connect. Likewise, you can able to restrict this one and select the specific network. Let's say if you have any specific network with you, okay, you are uh, only specified network if you want to access, okay, within the network. See here which one network you have. Okay, if you have the network specific VNet and subnet, from there within the private network you can able to connect. You are not going to add anything over here, and you can select that one. Okay, so allow Azure services the resources access this server. Okay, that's what you can able to delete this one, and you can only use for the specific network. And the private access, basically you are going to create the private endpoint here. So tomorrow we'll discuss this part actually. So how we are going to connect with the private endpoint as well for this service. Okay, so and the connectivity specification. Okay, so proxy, redirector, so whatever you are going to feasible option, you can do that here. Okay, but at this moment, let's say this firewall set option or the connectivity option, both the thing, and you can able to export this database file to some storage location, and from the storage location, if you have the backup file, you can able to restore, and you can able to copy, means same image copy. If you want to use, you can use. Okay, this all the things experiment tomorrow will do, and will continue tomorrow. Okay, so any questions now at this moment? But tomorrow we will have explore on this lot more options over here. Okay, so don't worry. Any questions? Udit and Sikant. Okay. So if you don't have, I'm just wind up today class, and we'll connect tomorrow. And the same thing we are going to discuss, and we'll explore it all this option. How we are going to do the copy. Okay, so how we are going to restrict this, private network, private endpoint. Okay, we'll create, VNet and try to connect within that VNet only. We'll just try to access this one by using of the private endpoint, how we are going to connect and test the connectivity validation. Okay, and this overview option, whatever we have. Okay, so creating of the database and elastic pool. Okay, new elastic pool, data warehouse, formerly data warehouse, and importing the database, password reset, everything we are going to discuss tomorrow. Okay, so let's catch up the same time. This is my Azure SQL database over here. Okay, so we'll have some database quotas as well, how it is going to utilizing, we can monitor, and list of the database over here, how we are going to log this resource to unexpected deletion to avoid such kind of things. Although if you are going to delete, okay, so how we are going to how we are going to restore this one, and networking also we have. So what are the options we just explored, that it is going to have the networking options as well. And the one which we discussed, basically TD database and the service managed key and the custom managed key also we're going to discuss. Okay, see you tomorrow. Okay, hello, yeah, Srikant, go ahead.
If a client is asking for the batch database backup, where can I take the backup from this batch database? Is there any option? Actually,
Yes.
yesterday I was asking for this. So I have what is the backpack file I have provided, but backup file, where is the backup file? Which you, if client is asking for backup file, where is the option?
Yeah, backup file you cannot able to see. Okay, so let want to show that. Okay, so how we can able to do that backup and okay. So this is my database, right? Okay, so if you can see this database and okay, so go to this drop down. Yeah.
Actually, I logged into SSMS, but there is no option in the backup
No,
task.
you will not get the backup here. You will not get that one. Okay, so you will not get. Okay, let me connect first of all. You cannot able to take that backup. I'll show that how we are going to take the backup first of all. Okay, just go to the set option. You can disable it here, right? So select network access. So you cannot able to take the backup first of all in this option. Okay, it is not going to show you anything, but you have to take that backpack and the DAC pack. So from the portal itself, okay, from the portal itself, this is my database, right? Here is the backup option we have. Backups you can able to, it is going to take inbuilt backup. Okay, so you just configure this backup retention period and all. It is going to take as per your backup retention policies, backup schedule. Okay, but for your question, okay, you can take export the database. Okay, just export the database. Okay, in the storage location, select the storage location. Okay, if you have the storage, I don't have any storage location. Let me create. Okay, so at this moment I don't have. Tomorrow I will show. If you have the storage location, if you have the
Tomorrow we will
storage,
check. No problem. Tomorrow we will check.
yeah.
Yesterday, the export data there is there, right? In option two, I have backup. I have taken the backup and provided the file.
Okay. So you just export this storage account. From there, you have to provide the file. Okay, that is the only the option we have. You cannot able to take the backup and see. That's what this pass model. Once you are going to that location that we are going to stick that. Okay, so indirectly cloud vendors is going to take some authority on that one. Likewise the backup related, they are going to maintain the backup and all, but you can able to export that in a storage account. From there you can able to provide. Okay, but SQL managed instance you have the option to take the backups. Okay, so like DAC pack and the .bak, likewise you can able to do, but this Azure SQL database there is a lot of limitations. You cannot able to take the backup. Okay, yeah. Let's see, tomorrow we'll explore this all these options, backup, restore, how we are going, if we have the backup that back file, how we are going to restore. Okay, that all options we are going to explore tomorrow. No issue. All right.
Bye.
See you guys. Catch tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.